Hello and welcome to the New Age Geek channel. If you're new here, we build an inclusive space for people of all walks of life through the power of friendship and tabletop role-playing games. Tonight we have Forging Fates, our sober D&D campaign set in the Critical Role of Alexandria following our adventuring party, the Fists of Fate. What's up, Fists?
What's up?
Hey, Joe.
This is just your weekly reminder that the New Age Geeks includes more than just us up here on the screen. It relies on all of you wonderful geeks and your participation in this community that we are building together. If you want to become one of the New Age Geeks, you absolutely can. Just make sure to subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels and join our Discord, where you will find moderated chats, emotes by one of our favorite geeks, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. And chat rooms with the cast and other members of this growing community. Another little friendly reminder that the best way to help us out is with engagement. So we'd greatly appreciate if you'd watch the video all the way through, like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that these platforms know to share us with everybody else. Speaking of engagement, we'd greatly appreciate if you'd clip any of your favorite moments throughout the show, whether it be the happy moments, the sad moments, the funny moments, whatever you'd like. But beyond Twitch and YouTube, we have posts going up on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Threads. So if you are on those platforms, make sure to give us a follow for more geeky goodness.
Twitch Prime. I talk about it every week. It's free if you have Amazon Prime. That awards you a 1-month subscription to any channel here on Twitch. Once per month, you do need to go in and resubscribe to that channel, or go to a new channel and subscribe to that one. But that is at no cost to you. Just link your accounts and click subscribe with Prime on that channel. If you're feeling charitable, please subscribe on Twitch and YouTube, perhaps gift subscriptions to others, cheer using bits, donate via PayPal, check out a merch shop, subscribe to Patreon, and if you wish to become a sponsor or a partner for the New Age Geeks, reach out to us directly via our Instagram page to begin those discussions.
Am I operating at a lag? Because I am on mine, but my lips are all matched up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because for me, it's running at a lag for some reason. If you enjoy the music we have going on here on Forging Faith, we would highly recommend checking out the Songcraft bot. The Songcraft bot allows you to play open source, community selected music and soundscapes directly from your Discord server with just a few clicks. Whether you're playing with friends or streaming on Twitch, you can use the audio stress-free. With their pro level subscription, you get their playlist builder, shareable playlist codes, access to 40 plus music genres and 20 plus soundscape types, global genre selections, and 2 premium Discord servers, all for just $10 a month. But by using our referral link, you get $2 off your subscription for the first 3 months. The referral code, I apologize, and the code is NAG, N-A-G. All you need to do to get started is invite the Songcraft bot of your choosing into your server, then hit play and let Songcraft take care of the rest.
And we are also partners with Dragon's Nest Delivery. If you don't know what Dragon's Nest Delivery is, it is a D&D shop with a ton of D&D essentials, including dice, apparel, homebrew adventures, and their Nat 20 card series, which we will be using here on New Age Geeks over on Queer and Present Danger. And they even have a D&D subscription box. Inside that subscription box, it includes dice, candy, one-shot adventures, minis, and a bunch of downloadable content as well. So when you go to checkout, make sure to use our full referral code, NewAgeGeeks, which is all one word, and you'll get 18% off of your order. And yes, that even includes a subscription box. So make sure when you check them out to tell them that we sent you.
Check them out, check them out. As far as other announcements for the week, this week, coming back for the new year, we have Queer and Present Danger by our amazing CC. This way, this direction of the cameras. And also Gormrog. Dom will be on that show as our favorite little turtle boy. And then Thursday, I have another episode of Investigation Shack, this time with Spunky Taylor. I'm going to be diving into her geeky backstory and learning all about her. Does anyone else have anything going on this week? Jem, the finale of Castleton was yesterday, correct?
No, but I do have other things going on this week. I just realized what week it is. I will be playing on Don't Kill Your Character. Don't Kill My Character. Yes. Wednesday, Alice is missing. I don't know what time it is other than Pacific, but it's 4 p.m. Pacific time.
Kate is in
Uh,
the chat, so I'm sure she'll let us know.
Yes. Yes. And Castleton is not over yet, but crazy things happened this Saturday episode, and I'm still not recovered from it. But we've still got a bunch more episodes. It's really wild. Some of the best role playing I've ever seen. People are dying. Definitely worth watching. Winter's Tales channel, 4 p.m. Pacific on Saturdays.
Anyone else got anything going on this week that they want to shout out? Okay. Well, I want to shout out Rat, Reader, and Rogue. They performed a song for their character this week, and I think it deserves the love. Go over there and check it out, as Taz has performed a song she wrote for Clover and sang it a cappella. Yes, I called you out, Taz. Let's see. Besides that, I think that's all we've got. Next week we are back with Forging Fates on Monday, I believe, or no? Are we skipping next week?
I don't think we have it next week.
I don't think we do either.
It's the second Monday. But we don't have anything currently scheduled for that day. So enjoy a nice Monday off from all the chaos that ensues here on the New Age Geeks channel.
Yes. I've got nothing else. If you guys got nothing else, let's dive into tonight's episode of Forging Fates. We're back. Okay, so picking up where we last left off, the Fists encountered their second of the three hags in a frozen swamp as the Burr hag Brenda descended upon them, bringing with her two frost giant skeletons that they had to combat with, as well as Emic, who began to make his allegiances known as he attacked, being the second person to down our amazing Erangel Clover. And before he was able to make his escape, as you all dispatched the giants and Brenda before being reacquainted with Jesta, as she made her way once more in as a beautiful elven woman. She approached you all and proposed a deal in exchange for eradicating Loren and allowing Jesta to absorb the powers from her. She would help you all get an evening's rest and offered two locations, one being her own personal abode, which you all politely declined to go to, and also the Herringon Enclave, where Clover's parents were currently waiting. And it was at this point that Jesta revealed what Clover's possible original name was, being Shastina, and also the two names of her parents, Unet and Arle. But besides that, we Jesta offered a alternative deal in some other ways, trying to entice you all with several other options. One of them being to Zarel, as just before you all step through the portal. But as we pick up from there, you all step through into the Herringon Enclave, and you see, as I've already previously described, the hobbit-like homes of houses built into these small hills. The sky, that familiar, just barely sunset lighting as it cascades, shining light through the small village. You see a few small Herringon children running around, stick in hand, seemingly moving this ring-like toy down the center of the street. You see a few Herringon farmers cultivating crops off a little bit in the distance from where you all currently reside. And yeah, the scene is yours, folks.
I believe I was one of the first to step through. But I'm gonna reach for Finnick's hand, if I might.
I'll take your hand.
I'm really not doing so hot. I need a rest as soon as possible.
I do too.
Here in the grass, or are we gonna try to make it all the way over there?
I'm just worried that they might be skittish to newcomers.
I'm gonna look back as everybody else walks through and just... Do we think Herringon are jumpy?
They have reason to be.
Well,
Being the resident of the Feywild, do you want to take point? I don't think I'm the best person to be talking to them.
Of course. Don't mind.
Or Clover, since these are your people. I mean,
Clover entered the teleportation circle invisible, so I believe she would still be invisible.
it was said to the air then. Clover, your people.
I'm saying I'm here, just so you know that I'm here, but just pretend that I'm not here.
I'd rather not, but I will respect your
Why?
wishes.
Okay.
I get it. Test the water.
I
a little
don't.
bit. It's a big step. I get it. It's a bit of a leap of faith introducing yourself to a group like this. And are we like already are we looking at Herringon right now? Or are we like outside of an enclave?
So you're probably 500 feet outside the enclave, and you've been here before. Well, so you know that the kind of leader of the enclave would be Ruba. He's a older Herringon. And actually at this what?
What was his name?
Rorba.
Rorba.
The rabbit jokes in the chat are fucking ridiculous. It's at this point I'll say you actually see him making his way out towards all of you, flanked by several other Herringon.
Oh, good timing. And I'll motion up so that he sees me.
You see them approaching, weapons on them as they are pretty on guard for people approaching their enclave. Rorba, as you look at him, he is dark gray. Herringon is fur, kind of this darkish gray that comes to this like big white beard that just pushes down a little bit past onto his chest. His ears are tucked back and tied together with a bit of rope, and you see the top of one of his ears is just completely missing at this point. He's got a heavy scar on the left side of his face, and his left hand is just completely missing. In its place, you see a long metal rod that has like a gripping device on the end of it.
Nice.
And in his right hand, you see him carrying this large morning star.
Since the last time I saw him, how much of this is new?
Not much. That's all exactly how you've seen him before.
Nice. As he approaches, Quell will bow. I'll say, Rorba, you old hare. Are there any of his detail or anyone else that I can see that Quell already knows from freeing other Harengon?
You see Parla, a female Harengon who wears like this brown leather armor across her chest, and you see a short bow in one hand and a quiver of arrows down at her side. Her ears are also tied back, but where Rorba has it only at the base of his head, she has it set like almost like a ponytail where it's bound in a few different places along the ears. And on her right arm, you see she wears a leather cuff across it that has this intricate like metal inlaid design, and for like when she shoots arrows.
As Quell is bowing, he'll whisper to the group, I see formidable help already. And he'll wait to greet Rorba when he makes his way over.
Okay. In short order, they make their way over to you, and there's probably 3 other of the town like protectors that are with him. You recognize all of them, but we don't need to go into super detail about each and every one of them. But as they approach, he kind of just hoists the morning star up onto his shoulder. Well, what's all this? Who are you bringing here? You see his head kind of look around, and you see him sniffing the air.
These are the Fists of Fate. We've been tackling the hags. We needed a place to rest, lay low for a bit, maybe make some friends.
Why are they here? Why are you bringing them here, though? Is this the only place you could have gone? There's nothing better you had? I don't like you revealing our location to outsiders.
I'll be real honest, sir. I don't know where I am or how to get here again. We came through magically.
How exactly did that happen? Looks towards you, Quell.
We Alariel knew that this was the best place for us to take a moment. We're trying to get rid of the hags. We've got 1 of 3 down, but
Yeah, we killed a hag and we're gonna kill the rest of them.
came out of it a little worse for wear.
Roll a deception check for me, Quell.
Yep. Cool. My deception is 1. Okay. 21.
You see his eyes kind of narrow for a second, then kind of looks over towards you, Whisper, and he sees the blue feather in your hair still. And you see a familiar blue feather kind of tucked in with his as well. All right, well, when Ariel thought this was the best place for you all.
I'll be bowing my head out of respect.
We do appreciate the hospitality. I didn't mean to cause any undue attention, but hopefully it won't be much of a problem for long.
After he says that, Clover is going to go up to Aurora, and she's still invisible, but she's going to say, if it's okay to say, sir, they're here because of me, but I'm kind of throwing a temper tantrum right now, so I'm not showing my face, but I'm like you, so they're here because of me.
Roll a persuasion check, but do it at disadvantage because, hey, what's up? Boss Jellybean coming in with a raid, 11 raiders. What's up, everyone? Welcome in. We're just getting started for today.
I rolled a 17 and a 14, plus persuasion will be a 16.
Roll an acrobatics check for me.
Okay.
Oh.
Into this.
You're saying spooky
Ooh,
ghost.
29.
Okay. So you see it before it even happens. You see the muscles kind of twitch in his shoulder, and he swings that metal appendage out across into the open space, and you just bounce back and dodge out of the way.
As I bounce back, I drop my invisibility. I meant it. I'm sorry. It's just me, but I'm mad at them right now, and I didn't want them to see me like this. And then there's Clover standing in her full hair and gone glory.
You see him sniff the air towards you, and his eyes kind of narrow for a bit. He tilts his head. What's your name, kid? Why did my camera go up?
I'm Clover.
That don't sound like any names I've ever heard.
Well, it's, I guess, a long story, but this, somewhere around here is where I came from. I just haven't been here in a long time.
Well, whatever's got you coming back. Sure, we could use the help.
Quella's gonna look at Clover, kind of trying to imply with his face that he's trying. He'd like to bring up her parents, but he doesn't want to do it without her permission.
She's still not looking at anyone.
Okay. Then he's gonna let it go.
We
Can you guys hear me?
Hi.
that's how it works,
I think
right?
so. All right, now everybody level up quick.
A hair and gun, what would your name be? Drop it in the chat.
All right.
Hello?
He's
I'm
back.
back. Sorry about that. My computer had a seizure.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're still live. I'm just gonna adjust my camera. Gotta use the shitty camera for some reason. Gotta gave up on me.
A minute since we had this kind of technical difficulty
Yeah,
with the New Age
This
Geeks.
camera just completely gave up on me for some reason. It's
RIP.
working. It's working on like everything else. It's just for some reason it's been whatever. Anyways, okay. What did I miss?
We all leveled up to
Okay,
level
perfect.
43.
Excellent.
Nice level.
Hmm.
I'd love to talk about it more with you, but right now we just came from a really intense fight, and I think we could all use some rest.
All right. Let's Let's get you all into the village.
Do you mind if I go back invisible?
Whatever you want to do, kid.
And she casts invisibility on herself. Sorry, she casts invisibility on herself again.
With that, he kind of turns and begins leading you all back into the enclave proper. So, which one did you take out, Quell?
Brenda, right?
The frosty bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Brenda.
Yeah, we beat Brenda. Her minions tore us up pretty fierce.
Kind of glances that across all of you. Yeah, you could say that.
I'm sitting at a quarter of my maximum health. I'm
I'm sitting at like 12%.
Yeah. A meal would be most welcome, as much as we'd hate to impose, and an audience maybe with some of your more formidable soldiers, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. See if we can get some help.
Sure, we'll see what we
definitely
can do.
not for at least a little while.
Let's see what we can do. All right. With that, you're led in, and as you kind of enter in, you see towards the center of the enclave a much larger hill. The door is still relatively small compared to all of you, except for you, Clover. But you are brought over to this more centered building, and as the door opens up and you are led inside, there's a long fire pit in the center of the room, just kind of heating and lighting the entire space. And just from the ceiling, there's several braziers kind of hanging down. Excuse me. And you also see several across the fireplace specifically. You see several animals kind of being spit roast over the fire. There is a few vegetables and herbs being hung and dried off to the side of the building. There is several seats kind of lining across the fire pit, and you're getting the sense that this is a very like central communal space for the enclave. And Quell, you've been here before. This is like their main meeting hall where they kind of gather every night, eat their meals together, and discuss plans. It's at this point Roba makes his way over towards the head and kind of taking a few steps up on this little bit of a raised platform, sits down in this wooden chair. For what they have, it's elegant, but I mean, it's by no means elegant by any other standards. You see there are a couple other Haringons filling the space, a variety of ages and genders. There's children in the space, kind of. You see a few kids kind of making their way over to one of the animals that are being roasted, and they kind of pick at some of the cooked meats and pop it in their mouths before jutting off. So, how did what's the plan here? Do you have a plan, Quell? I'm sure we can get your friends rest and accommodations, but business first.
I think looking for soldiers may be better to wait on that for a little while till we get settled. Us being the new heads, I'd rather gain some trust first.
Yeah.
No one knows anyone but me.
How much time are you wanting to stay here, Quell?
Oh, just tonight, hopefully.
Oh, okay.
But I think we may gain more sympathy and following once we have the vote of Clover's parents. It'll probably give us more sympathy as far as this whole group. Once they know that this Harangon is one of their own, I think we'll get more fighters.
Well, who's Clover's parents, and how do you know that they're here?
I don't.
Just what we've been told, and he knows their name. I've been forgetting it.
Unette and Arla.
Unet. Yeah.
I don't know that I trust that information, but
Feel free. I don't want to. I don't want to blow anything up that we don't.
well,
need
that's
to.
just it. That's not exactly our information to spread, is it?
No, it's not. But I do think that it would be helpful.
So she
So-
drops her invisibility again. She's a yapper, you know.
You don't have
So
to, but
the thing is, like, I'm a little bit confused because I know that business is involved now, but I didn't really come here for business. I came here to find people, and the people who Quell is talking about, my parents, those are the people I came to find. I don't know who they are, and I'm not certain what their names are. I heard something from a hag, but I don't trust anything that comes out of their mouths. So I think that my parents are here, but I don't know if my parents are here, and I don't know if my parents are even still alive. But I'd like to be here for other reasons than business, because I do look around, and for the first time I'm seeing people who look like me, and it's a little weird, but it's also a little bit familiar, and I don't want it to all be business talk.
Well, I do know Una and Arla. They are here. Though their daughter is here too, so I'm not sure what exactly. If I didn't realize they had another kid.
They might not. It might not be them. I don't know anything.
Well, bring them in when you're ready. You could have that conversation.
I can't make myself invisible again until I take a nap.
Perhaps we get all of you some rest. Food or rest first? What would you prefer?
Food.
rest.
Food.
I am not surprised.
I had to think about that one though.
No, you did.
As you say food, Whisper, a little Harangon girl, her ears kind of flopped on one side and hang down just to right above her eye, wearing this cute little pleated skirt. She comes over, bringing this plate. It's made of like they took a tree stump, shaved it, and then dug a bowl into it, and just kind of brings over this plate. There's this big chunks of shredded meat in the one corner. You gather this is probably some venison. There's a large baked potato, and just several other various vegetables kind of filling the space. I love watching Taz get so upset that people are eating meat.
I suppose a bit of food couldn't hurt.
Yeah.
And quickly, more food is brought out to anyone else who would desire some, as well as some it's like a honey tea that is brought out.
Good. I'll take it.
Um,
How does
I
the
know
honey of
when
the Feywild measure up to the honey of Quaxcomb Farms?
Sure. It's almost like a sparkling cider. It like has a bit of like a carbonation almost to it. It's a little weird. You don't see the bubbles, but as you drink it, it feels like there's bubbles in it, and it kind of like dances across your tongue. But yeah, I don't have enough descriptors about honey to give you an accurate.
It's pretty good.
it's caramelized pop rocks. Um, thank you for your hospitality. I know strangers in a strange land, we're not exactly the most trustworthy faces without being known, but this is most generous. Thank you. And even though I said I wanted sleep before food, I'm going to ravenously demolish the bowl in front of me.
Mhm.
Okay. It's very rustic, like the food. It's all like kind of like Irish food, a little like not a ton of flavor to it, but it's hearty meals. Like it warms you up inside, and it's like very thick, heavy food. Which is after the day you guys have had, and especially dealing with a burr hag and being almost nearly frostbitten. It is. Oh, it's hitting a spot.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna trance hard tonight.
And knock out and just stay out.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys like to do before tuckering in for the evening?
Yeah, actually. Retroactively, I'd like to have picked a flower off the ground, if I could have.
Sure.
And I'm going to just tie the stem onto Finnick's bag.
Thank you.
I still owe you a date, but I can do nice things from time to time.
I'm really hoping we find time for that date soon.
Know any hot spots in the Feywild? I'll gladly take you.
I mean, I could think of only the places we've already been.
We'll find our spot.
Hopefully
we'll
we
get away,
can
just the
catch a
two of
break.
us. You know, it's been, what, 3 months since we met? Ish.
Crazy to think
And I
about
don't
how-
think we've had a break more than once, twice. And even that didn't feel like it was very long before the world was ending again.
Yeah.
But, next chance we get. You and me.
I know this is supposed to be a safe place for us to rest, but there's still part of me that wants to keep watch at some point during the night. I guess I realize it doesn't really get dark here or really turn into nighttime, but would you like to watch the never-ending sunset at some point?
I'd love to.
But I'm also extremely tired.
Mhm. Let's get some rest. We'll take watch. Maybe then rest some more.
Do you think they know about Amik?
Oh. I don't know. Do you want to ask?
Rorba?
What? I didn't get your
Right.
names. I don't. I was gonna respond with your
I'm-
name, but then I just remembered I don't think any of you told me your name. So, what is your names?
I'm Finnick.
Gormrock.
Whisper. This was delicious.
And I've got Clover and Quell already.
And on to Data.
And Zeril.
Zero.
Zaryl. Jesus.
Are you familiar with the Harengon named Emic?
Yes, he brings us leads as far as fighting new outposts of other Harengon enclaves.
He's a liar. He's a liar and
He's-
a cheat. And he tried to make me trust him, and then he tried to kill me.
He's teaming with the Hags. During our fight with Brenda, he attacked us as well. I know it's
Fair enough.
probably hard to hear, but he nearly took me out. He knocked Whisper unconscious and Clover as well. I know he's quick, but he's not to be trusted.
This is concerning.
He
I
said
don't
he
know
would.
if it's. Sorry, go ahead.
He said he would lead us here, but he led us straight to the Hags.
Well, thank you for the information. We'll make sure to get past to our scouts and we'll put a bounty out on them.
Just be careful.
He's very deadly.
Good to know. He's played the fool for us, so
He's good at disappearing. And I don't know if it's because they have something on him or if he's just a coward. But by his own admission, he is a coward. Don't hold back if you go after him.
we won't for traitors.
All right. I really need to crash. I'm sorry. Do
Get
you
some
have a place
rest.
we can lie down?
Yes. Parla will bring you to a few hovels that you'll be able to occupy for the time being.
Thank you.
With that, the archer that you have met, the archer Harengon, Parla kind of leads you all out of the long hall and brings you to a few newer looking buildings that have been constructed on a little bit more of the outskirts, on the edges of the inhabited space of the enclave, and kind of leading you inside. There are pretty basic amenities inside of it. There's a fireplace that is not lit currently, but has a set of wood next to it for all of you if you decide to light a fire. And there are a few bedrolls kind of like laid out in each of them. They give you 4 different hovels to occupy for the 6 of you. Quell, you typically have resided at the Longhouse, being one of the places that they've kind of made up for you there, being an elf and not typically small like the rest of the Harengon. So that's where you typically have stayed, because they just haven't bothered to give you a residence, because for the most part it's not big enough, and the rest of you are feeling a little bit cramped in the space, but it's big enough that you'll be able to get some rest.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a bit in and out, but I'll show you guys where I sleep. Hopefully, we'll all fit.
All right. I've been coming pretty close to hitting my head a few times. These places are not built for people like us.
No. No, we're lucky that we're so welcome.
Well, I'd have to say it's in part to you and all you've been doing to help the Harengon.
Yeah, as much as I can. It's felt overwhelming, but
now
I
we're
do
gonna
feel-
win.
I do feel like with the Fists of Fate here, now is the time to turn the tides if there is one. Hopefully we can convince some other warriors here of that in the morning.
Let's sleep.
Cool. Who's I'm not super tired. I know you guys are. I can do first watch. Wake
Thank you.
people later.
Yeah, you want to wake us for a later watch?
Sure thing.
So, Quell, taking first watch, go ahead and roll me a perception check. What are the sleeping arrangements, just so everyone else is aware? There's
You said there were 4 hovels, right?
correct.
And do they have doors?
Yeah, there's doors. There's a little like
Yeah. Clover
window.
stormed into one and closed the door behind her and locked it.
Okay.
Okay.
What about the
Nice.
rest?
Since it's just me on my watch, and I'm gonna get my spell slot back when I go to sleep, I'm gonna cast Summon Beast, and I'm gonna spend my watch with Bernie.
Okay. What about the rest of you guys? Who's taking what house?
I go to the first one that is not locked and closed by Clover and just all right up and pass out right away.
Okay. What about you two?
I'll share one with Gormog if he'll allow it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then Zaryl will take the last one. All right. Roll me a perception check then. Well,
Cool. Can I?
All right.
Since when this happened?
Yes.
say that again. I'm sorry, I got distracted by an audio cue.
Can I have advantage since Bernie
yes,
is there helping
yes, you
me?
can have advantage because Bernie.
All right. 29.
29. Wow. Okay.
Damn.
So as you kind of sit there watching, there's a lot of the village doesn't seem to be up at all times. They seem to rotate in a constant shift, so there's always activity going on, which for a place that doesn't ever have an actual sunset makes sense, and especially that this is a place of refuge where they are trying to actively have defenses at all times as well. It's not unusual for you, and you just are noticing it more, and it being actually the first time you've probably stood a watch while in this
Nice.
village. You do see, however, a blue bird land on a rooftop near you, and you see it look down at you,
Mm-hmm.
and you see the eyes narrow a bit.
And I'll narrow my eyes back at it and then point. Be like,
You see her shake her head just ever so slightly before flying deeper into the enclave.
she's got her opinions. Cool. Are there any other Harengon that Quell knows that he notices going about their stuff nearby?
Yeah, there's plenty of them. There's you know a decent chunk of them here, having spent so much time here.
Nice.
Is there anyone in particular we're looking for as far as like a conversation to be had, or just a random one just grabbing?
Just any that are like more formidable that I think could help. He's going to let them know, not like the details, but just that him and his group are gonna need help and to be at breakfast tomorrow so I can explain.
Okay. I'll say you noticed Drammer. He is this mass. Like, you ever see the people pick up those massive rabbits? This is him. He's almost to the point where he is coming up on 6 feet, which for a Harangon is tremendous. 6 feet, like easily 300 pounds, and he has a warhammer that he can keep strapped to his back at all times. And looking at him now, you can see there's like the faint bits of like singe marks on his fingertips from, you're assuming, blacksmithing, and you can you smell the coal coming off of him as he walks through the village.
Nice.
But he gives you a bit of a nod and just, I'll be there.
As the smith, I'm sure you know some other warriors that you can bring as well.
No, I mean, there's most of us, so I'll bring a few of the best I know.
Just a chance to hear what I have to say is good enough. Appreciate it.
Kind of pats you on the shoulder, and you feel just the strength behind the hand.
Thanks, big guy. Drammer, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Dram.
Drammer with the hammer.
Cool. And yeah, besides recruiting people, he's just gonna sit and keep watch.
Okay. Besides that small visit from Linnariel, you don't see much of anything, and your watch goes off without a hitch.
Nice. He will sheepishly knock on Gormy and Finnick's door, and patiently wait for them to wake up and come and answer.
Are we waking up? Is that what's happening here? Is the 2 hours used exclusively for sleep?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll shake Finnick if she's still sleeping.
Yeah.
Let's go look at a sunset.
Okay. And I'll grab a blanket as well to take with.
Answer the door. Hey, Quell, real quick before you turn in.
Yeah.
Do we have a time? Or is it just later that we're gonna meet with everybody?
I'm telling people breakfast. That
Okay.
way, they have time to consider it before we head out.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Yeah, have a good watch. And
Thanks.
Quell will go to his usual spot and trance there.
Yep.
I'll try and find a quiet place for us to sort of sit, and I'll like fluff out the blanket and take a seat.
Myself up next to you and just stare off into the distance, take in the sights, the smells, the sounds of the Harangon Enclave, and just take a deep breath. As I notice all of it, I'll also notice my breathing and match it to yours. And just kind of slow down.
I'm trying to breathe slowly and I'm also thinking about the events of the past day. And I sort of rest my head on your shoulder. I'm sorry for blowing up earlier.
What do you mean?
Everyone was getting so heated, and I feel like I only made it worse, even though I was trying to resolve the situation.
You're right. Don't worry about it.
I want
I
to
already forgot about it.
apologize to Clover and Zeril too, but I know everybody's pretty tense
Heated.
and
Yeah.
yeah.
For what it's worth, I forgive you.
Thank
And
you.
I did the moment it happened. But
I just don't like that we've started arguing with each other and need to find some way to... I don't know, I feel like organize things is the wrong word.
we needed time to come back together and recenter ourselves as friends, allies, and not fight each other. We need to fight together against what we're fighting against.
Well, and it doesn't help that it's the constant stress on us either. It was only a matter of time before straw broke the camel's back.
What's a camel?
Are you being serious?
Mm-hmm.
It's um similar to a horse, but they have like humps on their back. Some have one and some have two. Typically found in like deserts and stuff. Often used for travel and...
Huh. Oh.
Part of me wants to insight check him and see if he's lying about not knowing what a camel is.
Go right ahead.
Doesn't matter, I rolled a 2 on the die, so a total of 7.
Could be making it up, could be completely serious. Who knows? But, yeah, maybe we'll have to go find one of those one day.
Apparently they can go days without drinking water.
That's unhealthy.
I
You
mean,
really should be drinking water every day.
gotta do what you gotta do to survive.
Mm. Hey, you ever seen anybody make a whistle out of a blade of grass?
Don't believe I have.
Tristan taught me. He said it was his first instrument. I'm gonna pick a long, wide blade of grass. I'm gonna press it between my thumbs, make a tiny little space here, and I'm just gonna blow. And it's gonna make this really shrill, high-pitched whistle.
Well, if that's an instrument, I think it needs to be tuned.
I really like the pan flute better. But I've been thinking about him a lot and how he's changing, and if he hasn't found a way to delay the clock, that at this point his time would be up. And I gotta put faith in my brother and say that he's found a way, and he's not turned into that thing. I
I
don't know.
I might not know a ton about Tristan, but one thing I do know is that when he sets his eye on something, he sees it through. He's a very passionate and determined person, and I don't think he'd stop until he was able to find something that would help.
Well, like this blade of grass is also an instrument. Two things can be true at the same time. And I'm willing to bet Clover is just as distracted as I am about Tristan. And that can't be making things easy for her. She's
No.
here in the middle of this village. She's dealing with the loss of Tristan, who, like an idiot, said some things a bit hurriedly. I'm really worried about her, and I don't know how to broach the topic, and I'm worried about him, and I'm worried about Quell. You know, he's looking blue. I'm worried about Zarel. He's still not found his groove with us. I'm worried about Whisper because that comment about power and learning it. Honestly, Finnick, out of everything going on right now, you're the one thing I'm not worried about.
I feel like that's a first.
You are a calm at the center of the storm for me. And you remind me to find my own peace. And I appreciate you for that. And I don't know. I just turn away.
I will place a hand on your cheek and face you towards me. We're gonna get through this, and I'm thankful that I am able to provide you some solace in such unknowing times. And I hope to continue to be that for you.
Forgot to breathe for a second. Oh my god. What were we doing? Can I kiss you?
Sure.
Whoa.
I just pull him in for a kiss.
Okay.
Yeah. Chaos magic.
Okay. If there's nothing else, then Excuse me. We're gonna move on to the next person. Who would be the next one to wake up?
I was gonna go knock on Clover's door.
I feel like I usually, if I were to do a watch, would do the early morning one, so I'm cool with that.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then we are going to need a minute because Clover, as you drift off to sleep, you get to hear me change the music. As there is a moment where you find yourself standing in the center of this hovel. You can see the small children kind of circling around you, and you see your Hobalt family making their way in. You see them hugging this son of Harengon and kind of being accepted in. And you can see them wordlessly thanking one another. And you see them all turn towards you and smile. It's your adoptive parents and this set of Harengon that look vaguely familiar to you in just the way that you've seen your own reflection in the water. Smile. You hear behind you a familiar voice. I'm sorry, Clover. I couldn't hold it off any longer. You hear Tristan's voice.
I turn around. Do I see him?
As you look, you see Tristan in that familiar, rageful form where his teeth are bared, his claws extended, and there's a moment where you see tears kind of stream down the side of his face.
What do you mean you couldn't hold it off? I'm gonna run up to him and try to hold his hands.
Grab hold of his hands, and you can feel they feel different as you hold them for a minute and you rub them across your fingers. I'm sorry, so sorry, Clover. You see his fingers begin to extend in your grip. His hands crack as bones disjoint and his hands grow. His hands elongating in your grasp, and he kind of brings them over and clasps onto your hands.
They're so big now, I'm still just gonna rub my thumbs in circles on his hands and try to provide him with some comfort.
She's in my head, Clover.
It's in your head.
It's 5 voices speaking as one. I don't.
What do they sound like?
I just. You see his arm kind of extend outwards. You see the skin like a rolling board at a train station.
Okay.
Where the letters just flip. You see his skin all begin to
I'm
flip into dragon scale.
I'm gonna start humming the song that he plays at night. Just think.
Roll me a persuasion check at advantage.
Persuasion.
Yeah.
And +2, 17.
She keeps calling me as like one of her children. She keeps saying that. I don't know who she is. Ah! You see his back begin to extend outwards, swelling under his shirt before large set of wings erupt out from behind him. You see the scales begin to flash red, green, blue, white.
Tristan, I'm really sorry.
I'm sorry, Clover. This is my fault. I'm so sorry. Oh!
None of this has been your fault.
See, around the base of his neck, his shoulders extend outwards, filling into this large barrel chest as things begin to grow from each of his side. You see where the neck of his main head is just flashing the red scales. You see another head, this time serpentine, begin to push out. And this dark blue scales. You see another dark green, a white one pull up above, and a black follow closely behind it. She's mine, little Clover. I'm gonna make him suffer for you.
I'm just gonna close my eyes. This is just a nightmare. This isn't real.
You hear the sound of a thunderbolt go off. You hear flames erupt out. You hear a liquid being sprayed and gas emitting, and you hear the sound of icicles.
This isn't real. And she's gonna start saying that louder and louder to herself until she's like practically screaming it.
It's at this point you hear boom, 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 heavy knock on the door.
I think as Finnick knocks on the door, she would hear Clover screaming, "This isn't real," in her sleep.
I would rush and try to open the door. Did you lock it?
You did. You said
I
you
did
locked
lock
it.
I did lock it.
Clover? Clover, are you okay?
I will wake up and open the door.
As you open your eyes, the last thing you see is a flash of 5 different claws, dragon talon claws, each a different color. In this like circular, like a null blade, for those of you that know cheesy movie weapons.
I think I'll open the door and I'll kind of fall against Finnick, but then I'm gonna see Gormrog standing a few feet behind her, and I'm gonna run up to him and start shaking my head.
What happened?
I don't think Tristan's okay.
I'll hug you. You're allowed to say no.
I just saw him.
What do you mean? You just saw him. Where? And I'm gonna look behind her into the room.
I don't have dreams like that. That didn't mean nothing.
I'm gonna look at Finnick, because I know she knows dreams like that better than I do. And I'm gonna look back to Clover. And what did you see?
he transformed. There was a voice speaking over him. I never heard the voice before. I couldn't have made that up.
I believe you. And I'm afraid of what that means. We'll find him again.
He didn't want to go.
I know. The- I we can wake up Whisper if you need to rest more. I don't want to force you to.
I would rather stay awake.
Okay.
You want one of us to stay up with you?
Oh no, you need to sleep. I don't know what we're doing today.
I was saying around breakfast time, bringing people together to talk with them about maybe helping us fight the hags.
Okay.
Clover, if you don't want to be alone, I'll stay up with you.
That's okay.
I have No, I don't. Yes, I do. Potion of watchful rest. I can stay up and still get the rest I need. If you want company.
Okay.
Yeah. Why don't I stay up and I'll stay with her?
Okay. If you need me at all, don't hesitate to wake me up.
I do. But get some rest.
Clover, that invite goes to you as well if you need anything from me at all.
I will need you, but I don't need you right now this second.
Okay. I'll just lightly put a hand on Clover's shoulder and then head back to where I was sleeping.
I'm gonna drink my potion of watchful rest so I can get the next few hours without sacrificing a long rest.
Okay. All right. Is that everyone? Did I miss anything? Okay. With that, then, as you all kind of gather yourselves and get your rests in, eventually the next day. What's that?
Well, now we're just starting our watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I knew I was forgetting something. Go ahead and roll your perception checks for me.
Dirty 20.
3.
Okay. I'll say Clover. You see, looking around, the village, the enclave is kind of coming alive. Comparatively, it's always had this little bit of buzz, but there are a little bit more people kind of making their way out. You see some more children kind of playing in the space now, and you see them kind of, a few of them look towards you, being the new kid in town, essentially, like the slightly older version of a lot of them.
I'm gonna lay in the grass in can I find some tall grass?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bring Gormrog along with me, but I'm gonna lay in some tall grass I don't really want to be perceived at this moment.
Okay.
I'm also going
So
to
I'm
lay in
not
the grass.
hiding, but I'm laying in the grass, just kind of like looking up at the sky.
Okay.
And as we sit there, I want to tell Gormrog exactly what my dream was starting from. I closed my eyes and I was surrounded by family, biological and adopted, and people who were familiar and people who weren't very familiar. And I heard Tristan's voice behind me, and he said that he was sorry. And when I turned around, he was transforming, but he was suffering because there was a voice in his head. And I asked him if he recognized the voice, but he said that there were 5 different voices and they were all screaming at him. And then just described the transformation with the 5 different heads, and then the voice at the end that said that they're gonna make him suffer for me.
Sounds awful. I'm sorry you had to face that.
I don't really get dreams like that. I don't think that it was my imagination.
Believe you. I don't think so either.
I also, even in my head, in my last moments with him, as he was transforming, still only told him it was gonna be okay and not that I love him back.
Elva, you've known him for 3 months. You don't have to say it.
He's
He's
a
always run headfirst into things.
And now I think that you'd understand if it was your last chance to say it to Finnick.
I do understand. And it may not have been him.
But it may have been him.
It may have, yeah. Here's the thing. What you saw was definitely Tiamat, the Dragon Queen, goddess of the chromatic dragons. She's known as an evil deity, cruel, conniving narcissist. What she does is hurt people, tortures people. And it is a very real possibility that what she's done is exactly what you saw. And it's also a very real possibility that he slipped through her grasp just barely. Put a pause on that timer of his, and she's lashing out at you in anger to just hurt you. And maybe that was actually Tristan reaching out through whatever power they share now. I don't know. But I know that even if he is transforming into that, I'm gonna try and find a way to find him again. And I'm gonna kick his ass like I always do. And beat the curse out of him if I have to.
Took him an extra time for me.
I was hoping you'd go with me.
I'm
But
not really sure what. I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say.
that's fair. Um, You got a lot on your plate right now. I was telling Finnick, I'm worried about you. Between this thing with your parents, that weird name that the hag called you.
Such a
The
bad name.
It is a bad name. Like, I hope that's not true, because Clova's so much better.
Even if it is, I've got a name. I've been using it for 17 years.
Yeah. And
You know, this place doesn't look like what I imagined.
no,
Yeah, I guess I thought I'd see some stars in the sky.
kind of hard to have stars when the sun hasn't fully set yet, I guess. You think that ever drives them nuts? Just having the sun perpetually in the sky forever?
Not if they don't know any different.
Mm.
I know I'm getting hungry though. Is it almost breakfast time? Can you believe that they eat meat?
It
17
startled me,
years.
yeah.
17 years. I've gone without eating meat in solidarity with my family I knew nothing about. And here they are, like roasting pigs on a pole.
Yeah, there was venison and pork and yeah, I was thrown off. But I've also have you seen the size of some of these guys? Like I think I saw some guy with a hammer on his back who almost as tall as me.
No, but honestly, that I'm imagining it and it's really scary.
Like I'm 6'2", plus a mohawk, but like I'm 6'2".
Like you
Like
with rabbit ears would be really scary.
be really silly. Tusks and rabbit ears.
Should we wake everyone?
Yeah, I think it's about that time. All you gotta do is tell Whisper there's food. She'll come running.
Whisper food.
We have to go back to the hovel first.
In the other hovel, Whispers ear twitches.
But we're gonna be okay. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna find your family. We're gonna kill some hags. We're gonna save the day. And then we can worry about Tristan. Well, let's take it one pop at a time.
One never-ending sunset at a time.
Really is never ending, isn't it? And we'll walk back.
Okay.
Bang, 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 bang. Breakfast time.
Okay. As you gather,
What was in that potion of watchful rest? I feel wide awake.
as you all gather yourselves to make your way back to the longhouse in the center of the enclave, we're going to go ahead and jump to a break.
Hey.
We'll be back in a couple minutes. We love you guys. See you in a minute. We are back. Okay. So, picking up where we last left off, you all awaken the next day and are quickly led back to the longhouse thanks to Quell. So he kind of gathers you all up and brings you back. As you enter in,
On our way there, sorry, just
No,
really
go ahead.
quick. I am gonna look at Whisper and Finnick and just say like I'm really nervous.
What are you nervous about?
I might see people who know who I am.
Well, if they haven't seen you in so long, how are you sure they'll recognize you?
I don't know. That makes me just as nervous. They
Well,
might recognize me, that makes me nervous. They might not recognize me, that makes me scared.
But weren't you a baby? And babies look different when they grow up.
Yeah, but you kind of look like the people you came from.
well, we'll see what happens. And if they recognize you, then hopefully they'll be excited to see you. I don't see why they
And
wouldn't be.
if they're cool, then that's awesome. But also, if they're not cool, then it doesn't mean anything, you know?
Okay.
We're here for you no matter what happens.
That.
I want you to understand that.
I know. That's why I told you.
And I will continue walking alongside Clover.
okay. As you enter in, the scene is a little bit different. There are a lot more Harengon filling the space now. A fair amount of them are of the warriors that are within this space, and you see a variety of different martial classes throughout the space. I will say a lot of them seem to only wield one weapon, and for those of you that are part of the arcane, you can sense a heavy sense of arcane magic filling the space as well from the vast majority of these peoples. There is a hydrate or die from Kate.
Thank you, Kate.
And you see Roba up, kind of seated at the large chair at the far end of the hall. And you see amongst the warriors and even a lot of the people gathered here, a lot of them are missing an appendage of some sort, whether it be a foot, a hand, or something, some mixture of the two. And there is also one other group in this space that draws your attention. A group of 3 kind of seated up by Roba. A Harengon man who doesn't appear, as best you all can tell from not knowing the exact age math of Harengon to normal material plane years. A Harengon man who appears to be in his late 30s, he'll probably. He's got tufts of red hair kind of interspersed throughout his fur on the top of his head. One ear missing completely at the base. You see his kind of arch in his back from what you gather is probably some sort of injury that he has taken over the last several years that seems to be affecting him even still to this day. There is a woman, Harengon, standing next to him, similar in age. You see scars across the arms that seem to be from being tortured at some point. And she has this long flowing orange hair as well that comes down to almost her waist. And then standing next to them both, you see a Harengon, probably similar in age to Clover, with her hair cut short, that bright orange still visible. You see she is kind of like, her eyes narrow in an inquisitive way as Clover enters in. You see her nose kind of bounce up and down a few times as she sniffs the air, trying to understand what she's seeing. Exactly. I hope you all slept well, Fists. Quell?
Yes, thank you.
It was, most needed. We appreciate it.
Well,
God.
I've gathered everyone as best I can. What's the plan here, Quell?
I guess first introduce ourselves and see who's interested, and we'll go from there. And he'll stand at the head of the room so that everyone's watching him, with the fists around him. And he'll stand up, and when everybody quiets down, he's gonna make eye contact with those that he knows in the crowd. He's gonna say, "Many of you know me, but only recently by this season. When this war started, we were all angry. And now it seems like all we can do is just be lost and sad. I, for one, have never felt further from Alora's embrace. And I can only imagine how her children are handling it. But in the meantime, I see all of you here in front of me, still fighting, standing proud. And I'm proud not to be here today as an agent of Melora, but as an agent of fate and of the Harengon themselves. These are the Fists of Fate." And he'll motion to the group. They're strong warriors, and together we've slain Brenda. And 1/3 of this coven is gone. They're currently the weakest that they will be. And I think now is the time to strike and end this sadness. And as he's talking, it's like parts of his iciness are like starting to warm up and melt off of him. He'd say, "I implore each of you to join me in the Fists. Everyone that comes and helps. Be another footprint towards earning your luck back." So, we'll be here. Feel free to come up, introduce yourself, and join our cause. And we'll take down this coven today. And this will all be over.
I need you to roll me a persuasion check at advantage.
Thank you. If I roll bad, I'm gonna
Got goosebumps.
retcon that whole speech. So.
Subtle spell guidance.
Ooh. Okay, persuasion, and I get plus my wisdom, so it's plus 4 with guidance. Okay, the better one is a 14 plus 19.
Okay. I need you to go ahead and add the inspiring leader feat to your character sheet.
Oh, okay.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Let's go.
I don't even think I have enough charisma for that feat.
Raise your charisma.
If you
No.
don't, I do.
Actually, no, it's 13. I think I have just enough. Okay. Cool.
Your charisma's a 13?
Yep.
Fucking boost it up one too. Get that stat increase.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Very nice. Whoops. Rolled by accident. Rolled a 13. That's funny. Cool. And so do I get to make that an inspiring leader speech for right
Yes, you do.
now?
That was awesome. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. I don't remember exactly what that is yet. Inspiring leader. All right. Temporary hit points equal to. Okay. What's our level? 12 or something?
11.
11.
11. Okay. Plus my charisma, which is 1. So all the fists get.
It should be 2
12.
now. It should be 2 now.
Oh, it's 2 now. So. Yes. So what's that? 11, 12, 13 temp HP.
There you go.
For all
How
the fists.
long?
Hell yeah.
How long do we get that?
I think it's 24 hours.
Inspiring leader. 2 each creature until you do a shorter long rest.
Nice.
But then I can do it again. So
That's so cool.
awesome. Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a great speech. So I needed to reward that. As you give this speech, Quell, you see a few of the Herringon in the space. Like, as you say, you've killed one of them already there. I hate you, Kate. You hear a few of them, like, nod their head and give bits of... The character sheets are on the screen. They rotate through between. A few of them nod in agreement, give a bit of, like, exuberance at the sign, hearing that one of them is dead. And as you make this final call to rally, they all stand up and kind of begin hammering down. A few of them that have feet still begin patting their feet against the ground. It's like, and you see like enough of them are doing it where, Clover, you kind of take note of it, as this may be a bit of your culture and heritage that you were unaware of.
I am noticing it, but honestly, I have not taken my eyes off of that family with the orange hair. And I'm not trying to stare at them, I just can't really look away from them.
Mm-hmm. And you notice that young girl is staring at you almost as intently.
All right. Yeah, Quell's heart's pumping from giving a speech. He's going to sit down and start eating and wait for people to come up and talk to him.
Okay. And they do pretty
Put
much
my hand on Quell's shoulder. That was damn good.
Well, we needed it. And the cause deserves it. Thank you.
I'm gonna pull out from my pack small box. Not so small box, but a box. And put it on the table. And just kind of open it in front of everybody and say, if you need one, feel free to take one. And they're just going to see a box full of daggers.
Okay.
Because looking at my inventory is insane with the number of daggers I have.
Okay.
I sit down and start nibbling on some cinnamon rolls, which definitely are on the table, regardless of whether you say so or not.
Okay, fair enough.
But even as I'm eating them, I keep like glancing back up.
It's as people are as the warriors are making their way over to Quell, you see Roba kind of begin to make his way over towards you, Clover, the three Harengon in tow. Clover, I know you had said that possibly your parents are here and that their names are Una and Narla. Well,
Maybe.
this is them.
Like stare at them for a little while and look them up and down.
The woman, now known as Arla, as she kind of looks at you, you can already see the tears kind of welling up in her eyes. It doesn't make sense. How are you this old?
Are you missing a daughter?
We Lenariel said she'd get you to the material plane, but that was only a few months ago. We wanted you to be safe. She said she would make sure you're safe.
When we came through and Lenariel was there, didn't they say, "Why are you back so soon?"
Yep.
Well, maybe I'm the wrong person. I've been gone for 17 years. A little bit more than that.
I would recognize your face anywhere. Callista, it was... I would recognize my own daughter's face.
What'd you call her?
Just Callista.
Sounds familiar.
Well, she kind of falls to her knees and just reaches her arms out to wrap around you.
Can I do an insight check? Does this feel real?
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
But just before I start crying again. 15.
She's not trying to be deceptive at all. She seems to genuinely believe that you are Callista, the daughter that she gave to Lenariel a few months ago to save from the hags that are plaguing her people and your people.
I just don't understand if it's only been a few months for you, but Quell says it's been a few months since we've seen him. But he saw me at the same age.
I don't know what Lenariel did to get you to when you were, but I didn't expect this.
I'm gonna look at the girl.
This is your sister, Justina.
When we fought the hags, that's what they told me my name was.
I mean, you two do look a lot alike. Like, obviously, you next to each other, there is differences, but you can understand why she may have made that mistake in thinking that you were someone else.
Shift my gaze once more to the man. Sorry, gotta cover all my bases here.
You see him looking down at you, and this smile kind of across his face, those eyes, you can see the pain just from knowing how much of your life he's missed. He just looks towards you. Has your life been good, Callista?
The past few months have been kind of rough, but the past 17 years have been great.
I don't know exactly how it all happened or works out, or time is a strange stew.
I want to know more about you.
Yeah. What can we do? What
I don't know. I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that it's only been a few months for you, but also the fact that I'm standing here right now because I've been searching for you forever.
Tell us. I mean, there's got to be so many stories you have. Tell us, please, Callista. Just tell us everything. What has it been like? What have you done?
Well, I grew up on a farm, and I have a mom and a dad. I have 6 brothers and sisters. And we make honey. We make a lot of things, but I make honey.
We make honey here too, actually.
And I went to school and I took archery. I'm really, really good at it. And the past few months, I've been on the road with this team. I set out from home to come find you, and now I'm here. And it's really weird.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Well, I guess I don't know how it happened, but well, I don't even know. I'm happy you're here, but I wish you hadn't come. But I'm so glad to meet you. I don't want you to be in danger. We sent you away to not be in danger.
Well, you sent away a baby who couldn't help herself, but I promise the person who came back, I'm gonna do everything I can to save this place.
Looking at you, I have no doubt about that. So you said you...
And this is my team. This is Gormrog and Finnick and Zeril and Whisper, and I guess you know Quell.
Well... So you said you went to a hunt. You make honey?
Yeah, I've always had like this really strong connection with the bees, and we live on a farm, and I tend to the gardens, and we just make the best honey.
I think that's Lenario playing a joke on us.
Oh yeah?
We make the honey here too. We don't make the honey ourselves. Like, we have bees that make the honey. That came out weird.
My parents on the material plane, they named me Clover after Clover Honey.
That's a good name.
Actually, all of my siblings have honey names.
That seems oddly specific thing to do to all your children. But, I mean, it's a good name.
It works. It works for us.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to meet your mom, your other mom, when this is all over. You see Arley's just like bawling on the floor at this point. Just her hands
I'll
kind
get
of like,
down on my knees,
yeah.
and I'm gonna embrace her in a hug, and I think I'm gonna start crying too.
You see Justina kind of kneel down, and you see her looking at you, and this just smile kind of on her face, with the tears beginning to fill up in her own eyes. She pulls in you and Arla.
But yeah, so I guess there's gonna be a big battle.
Before that happens, I should give you something.
Okay.
If you're gonna be in this, can you come with me for a second?
Yeah.
He kind of reaches a hand out and puts his one hand on Arla's shoulder, kind of like pulling her back slightly, and reaches a hand out to help you up. I think it's there's maybe a reason the bees have a attraction to you. Kind of leads you out.
My friends come with me
Of course. Yeah.
if you want to.
Yeah,
I'd
I
love
wasn't gonna
to.
let you leave alone.
Can I help her mom and sister up off of the floor?
Yeah, sure. So he leads you out towards a little bit further towards the outskirts of the enclave, and he pulls open this set of doors that are almost built into the ground, and it's not much you can see on the surface. But as the doors open, you hear the sound of buzzing begin to push out and fill the space, and you can immediately smell honey. So
I like it here.
I don't know if bees on the material plane are the same as here. So just be calm. Don't startle them.
Oh. Okay.
And he begins to lead you down a set of stairs. And as you go down, you can see it is almost a cave at this point as you walk down, and the ceilings are rather tall, and you see large just honeycombs, kind of like stalactites down between the ceiling and the floor, and it's about 10 feet tall at this point. And you can see moving between them pretty large bees, to put it mildly, probably the size of a large dog.
Silva?
Oh.
I
I'm
don't.
like clutching onto Gormrog's arm.
I don't know how to put this lightly.
Not like this on the material plane.
I'm losing circulation in my arm.
Sorry.
These are large bees.
They're
These back home are
awesome.
about this size.
Oh, how do you ride them there?
We don't ride them. They just pollinate the flowers, and then they go into their little combs, and they do what they do, and then they let us take the honey, and we give them more flowers, and we definitely don't ride them. We try our best not to step on them.
That seems wildly impractical.
We ride like horses and donkeys.
But they don't fly.
I don't fly either.
Some of us ride wyverns as well.
Or griffins.
Or griffins.
Okay. Well,
Sky ships.
this is our hive, and we've protected this hive for generations since Melora created our clan. Follow me. We're gonna go a little bit further back.
It's okay if you don't want to, Finnick.
I think I'll stand guard by the door.
Okay.
As he kind of leads you back further down, you almost walk another set of staircase down, and as you do, it opens up into this massive chamber, and you see on this almost pedestal built into the stone and the honeycombs and all of the various bits that are here, you see this large, similar in size to the wolves that you've dealt with before. The two wolves, Gary and Frecky. You see her look, the queen kind of tilts her head as you enter in, and she kind of looks towards your father for a moment. Oh, who is this you bring to us?
We talk. Oh,
She smells like you, Unette. This is my other daughter, the one I introduced to you when she was born. She's here to claim her birthright, as is our treaty. Will she come and help us in the future? Should we call upon her? He kind of looks towards you.
Of course, I would help you. I love it here already.
You see her wings seem to shake in almost a language that you can't understand verbally, but inside you feel like almost this calling to her as the wings rattle, and you see from up above, almost in the shadows of the hive, a set of bees much larger than the ones upstairs, but small compared to the queen, land down to the ground. The ground actually displacing dirt with their landing, their wings buzzing. You see the dust begin to swirl around them.
I walk closer and I'm like giddy. I'm very much enjoying this scene.
We look forward to seeing you again, Callista.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you too.
You must pick one to be bound with, and we will communicate through them to speak to you.
Okay. I am gonna go up to, how many were there? Two?
Two.
I'm gonna go up to them and do either of you want to be my friend?
You hear them both kind of buzzing, and you feel inside like this willingness to serve and a kindred draw to them, that this is more than like you are forming a deep connection with them on a more ethereal level.
I'm gonna close my eyes and see if I feel a stronger connection with one of them.
Okay, roll a d20 for me.
Oh, just a straight 8.
Okay. You feel the one on the right. You feel that like a line you can't even see connecting you both. And as you begin to feel that connection, it instantly becomes stronger as like a rope connecting between the pair of you. You now are able to cast Find Greater Steed.
I would like to, like, with my eyes still closed as I'm feeling the connection, I want to, like, lift my hand up and, like, gently place my hand on his back. Just as acknowledgement.
As you do, the you feel that almost like fur-like texture of the bee's back. And as you prepare to open your eyes, you feel the bee adjust a little bit as something is placed on its back. And you see, opening your eyes, this like the material bees use to like craft the walls of their homes, like that, like paperish almost. It looks like that, and it's the saddle that is placed on the bee's back. And it appears to be made out of like honeycomb and that paperish, but it's obviously when you touch it, it's much thicker than a typical beehive, but it has an appearance.
Immediately excited, I look back at the queen bee and I look back at Unette. What's her name? Unette?
Yep.
I look back at Unette and I say, can I?
It's yours, daughter. I'm happy.
I look down at the bee warrior and I say, can I?
Kind of arches its 3 legs, giving you a step up.
I'm gonna climb on and I would like to like zoom out of this cave.
As immediately as you kind of mount up and you grab hold of the reins, you feel the wings like a quadcopter from Dune. It's just 4 wings just hover up for a second, and then you feel it rotate in just on its own axis before launching up into the ceiling. And as it does, you're gripping hold as it dashes and dives between the tunnels you couldn't even see that were there from the ground level, and you are out into the air in almost seconds. As the cold afternoon air just slams into your face, you pull up for a minute and you just hover there, hundreds of feet off the ground on the back of a bee, before it begins to dive down again. And the scene is yours to play with however you like.
Oh. So as we're zooming down, is there like a harness, like something that I can use to steer? Or,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to steer him like just as we're about to hit the ground, straighten back out. I'm going to ask, so do you have giant flowers? You make the honey.
You feel him respond back to you. We gather pollen from a bunch of different things. I mean, I don't. I'm a little too big for that, but you've seen the other ones. They're much smaller. They're small. They're so small. They're the smallest bees ever.
On my plane, a bee is like about the size of a thumb.
What? That doesn't make sense. I don't believe
That's
you.
actually
That doesn't
on the
sound like a
bigger
real thing.
side of bees too. Yeah, it is.
No, you're lying. This is how we're gonna start a relationship?
Do you have a name already?
Well, not really. We don't really have names inside the hive. I just kind of feel when the queen calls me. I mean, if you want to give me a name, you can give me a name.
Okay, I'm gonna call you Melly.
Melly?
Yeah.
All right. I never heard that name before, but cool. Let's go.
And I just want to zoom around for a little bit and then head back to meet up with my friends who did not know that I was about to start flying around on a bee.
Okay.
Back in the cave, I'm gonna look at Clover's parents and just thank you. I think we need to step outside of the cave, and I'm going to say this as calmly as possible. But I am losing feeling in my fingers. Meet us outside.
As he turns to look at you, you can see like his eyes are welling up as well. Just the moment that he's been able to have with a daughter that he didn't expect to see for a long time.
Shall we head back outside?
Yeah, she's probably going to be a bit.
Please.
Get it? Be a bit.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
That joke really stings.
That's a good one.
Let's go, honey.
Oh, I love it. Oh, okay. So with that,
So back outside when Clover comes back. Just look at Clover expectantly and just doing okay.
I will hop off of my steed and introduce Melly to my Fists of Fate.
Now, do we hear Melly talk too, or is it just
you do
in your
not hear
head?
you do not hear Melly talk.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
It's gonna make me look weird.
Can I pet it?
Melly, can she pet you?
Yeah, whatever. Huh? That's fine. And the rest of
Yeah.
you just hear.
Yeah, you can pet him.
Okay, I do. I'm like, oh, this is so cool.
You see the mandibles just kind of like.
Finnick.
Finnick's not looking so high, guys.
Yeah.
Breathe.
um,
I'm gonna walk up to Unette and Arla and Shastina once more and say, I know we have a lot to plan, but I feel like we have a lot to talk about too, so maybe when everyone gets their heads around what's happening, we can talk a little bit more.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, of course. I'm just so happy that you're here. So, does this make me the younger sister or the older sister? Because technically I was born before you, but I think you're older than me now.
So, when my parents found me, they said I was already like about 2, and like one of my sisters was about to celebrate their 2nd birthday. So they just celebrated my 2nd birthday at the same time. And I turned 19 about 2.5 months ago. So
again, I'll ask, since I was born before you, am I still the older sister, even though you're
Are
older
you
now?
Are you 19?
No.
How old are you?
I'm like 16.
Then I guess I'm I'm your older sister.
I don't like this. Dad, return her. I'm gonna have a word with Linariel. I don't like this deal.
I guess that means I
So-
get the bigger bedroom now.
Nope, definitely not.
Above table, if we have everybody riding in on bees, can we get the rights to fly to the bumblebee for battle music?
Fuck you. I think that song's in public domain though. God damn it. Okay. Anyways, is there anything else you guys would like to do for this evening?
Yeah, actually, I want to find Dramer,
Okay.
the 6-foot dude with the warhammer on his back.
Uh-huh. Dram of the Hammer. Which is his name from now on.
Sorry to bother you. You're a smith?
I am.
I know we don't really have time. I'm interested in learning how. Do you have do you maybe have books on smithing that I might buy off you?
I mean, we don't have many books. I can get you a set of tools though if you'd like.
Yeah. Could I? Could I?
Yeah, kid. All right, I got you. Don't worry about it. Do you want it right now? I can go get it. If you're looking at me like you want me to get it now.
No, it's you can now. Later is all fine.
I mean, we are preparing for a battle. Do you?
Yeah, no, it can wait as
Okay.
long as
You sure?
know,
Well, I'll
we
go get
both
it.
survive.
Wow. Way to have hope. We've been fighting this
Listen,
battle for years.
The last one hit me real hard with frost giants.
We've got Drammer the Hammer now, and he kind of
Oh.
just slams down on your shoulder.
Thank you.
Okay. Well then, as you all begin to make your battle preparations, I think that's a good place to call it for the night, to give you guys time to figure out exactly how this battle is going to go for all of you. I think we'll pick it up in 2 weeks.
Awesome. I got a giant bee, everybody.
That's awesome. I want art. I want to see art.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel
I gotta
free-
say, while they went and did the whole bee thing, Quell was still talking to people in the bar.
Yeah.
So
That's what I figured.
when they come back in, just him talking to someone looks over and sees Clover happy, and his heart melts a little bit.
Okay. Clover, why don't you go ahead and give us a description of what the bee looks like, if you'd like.
I haven't thought about it. Okay, everyone, close your eyes and imagine a bee.
Just
Now
like a
imagine it very, very, very large.
picture. Nailed it.
See it.
Got it.
Wow, you did it.
That's and fuzzy in like a soft blanket kind of way. Yeah.
Is it shag
With like
carpet
the
or
biggest, huh?
is it like shag carpet? Or a little bit
No,
more spiny?
spiny. No, neither of those.
Okay. I'm a
just-
bad descriptor apparently.
No, you're a fantastic descriptor. I can't think of how to describe a bee right now. I'm thinking of just like a fuzzy crocheted blanket.
Okay.
Like
I was about
imagine
to say like a
Imagine
chenille
that this
yarn.
bee actually looks like one of those stuffed animal bees that people make and put on Etsy. Oh, that's adorable. That's what my bee looks like. A stuffed animal, a giant stuffed bee.
Okay. All right. Well, that is going to end us for tonight.
Cute.
Let's see here. What do we got? We've got Career and Presentation on Wednesday. We've got Investigation Check with Spunky Taylor on Thursday. We are off next week, but we do have Investigation Check next week. But you get all that and check the socials. Who's got anything else going on they want to shout out?
Gem.
Yeah. Don't kill my
Is on-
character. On Wednesday at what's the central time?
It would be 6 Central
No, it's
because you said 4 p.m. Pacific.
it's 4:30 start. So
6:30.
6:30 Central. I think yes, time zones.
Name is a weird soup.
I know. A weird stew. Sorry.
Time is a strange stew.
Strange stew.
Yeah.
There you go.
Stew is so much more chunky.
Yeah, and then I'm also on Castleton on Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific.
Okay. Let's see here. We're gonna go and raid. Let's do. You guys want to do Dungeon Scrollers? Doing Isaki Realm Book 2, Episode 7 of D&D. They've been up for 2 hours. Or we can do Blackwater D&D. They've only been on 30 minutes, and they're doing a
Let's do.
God Killer Balance Talkback. Come ask all your
Ooh.
questions.
Oh yeah, do that. I have friends there.
Okay.
Kind of. They don't know it.
Okay. All right. Well, then that is going to end us for tonight. I've got nothing else.
Normal gazpacho.
I've got nothing else. If you guys got nothing else, remember, we love you, geeks. Good night.